Hello YouTube, this is Sir Travis Truman again, revealing forbidden truths. Now, the topic that I wish to discuss today is the topic of lawyers. Now, I've had extensive experience with these so-called defense lawyers, as I've been in jail, and being charged with hundreds of offences over my lifetime. Now, these lawyers, they claim to defend their clients and go to these lengths. Well, they will defend you as long as A, they are being paid to do so, and B, they'll only defend you within the framework set down to them by their society and the various laws. So, for example, it's unlikely that they would threaten witnesses or collect evidence for you or do anything like that, you know, and they won't argue the truth about your victimhood status. They won't try and argue the philosophical validity of anything. They won't argue anything, basically, but what they're told to, and they'll do it in a way how they're told to and when they're told to by the court and by society. But even so, that said, most defence lawyers, if you're a serious criminal, or even worse in the eyes of society, you're a seer of truth, or even just a student of the forbidden truths, you're likely to be persecuted. Now, under these conditions, you're not going to get much of a legal defence. Your lawyers aren't going to try, and they're not expected to try. We could call this the Cape Fear syndrome, like in the film Cape Fear. Okay, these lawyers, they think, well, this guy's an animal, or this guy is completely against society, he's got to be locked up, and they don't try to defend you. They try and just do the shoddiest little minimum job that they can. Okay? Now, I can assure you, they don't give a, it's not that they don't give a damn about their clients, they often hate their clients or think that their clients are bad. You see, because they're brought up by society, and they're members of society, they believe in the values of society, so they can't be properly objective in a lot of cases. Okay? And if you look at judges, most judges and magistrates who sentence you used to be defence lawyers. So don't fall for that. Now, let's take the case here, I'll just bring up the picture here, of Theodore Robert Bundy. Now, he had a lot of legal training. You notice that he represented himself in his case because he knew that no lawyer would ever represent him fairly. They wouldn't do their job. As he said, who's going to represent me? And he was right. That doesn't necessarily mean that in any case you shouldn't have a lawyer. It depends on a case-by-case basis. But you need to realise that you need to have some kind of threat or something against the lawyer in order to try and make him perform. Let's have a look at some really shoddy lawyers that work in Australia, in the state of Victoria. This man here, Shane Lethlean, a barrister. Now, I've had him myself, and he is one of the worst lawyers, one of the worst barristers you can have. He deliberately screws his clients over. I've had him myself. I've had him as a private paying client, and I'm telling you, he's a right smale, and he's a right bastard. If you're watching this, Lethlean, you've got the finger. You understand? I'll come. Anyway, now let's take a look at the next lawyer. This man here, Christopher Dane. Now, Chris Dane's meant to be Queen's Counsel. He's this big barrister. And he does have some tremendous skills. But the problem is that he suffers from the same problem the others do. He's not going to go out and defend somebody he hardly knows, somebody who's a free agent carrying out their true reality, someone who believes in the truth. No, he's going to sell you out, just as he sold me out. And it is likely that the public defender can defend you just as well as any of these flamboyant lawyers, because most of it is decided outside of the court by societal leaders and officials and by the various evidence, rules and technicalities of the system. So that's just some thoughts to think about when thinking about hiring one of these lawyers. Of course, if you want more information about these lawyers, or lawyers in particular, you can visit my website or email me directly. This has been Travis Truman. Stay tuned to Travis's Truth TV for upcoming episodes. The next one, folks, might be a real shocker.